Creating fuel gas using pyrolysis. Could you heat your house with garbage and provide electricity needed from that garbage too? How about your neighbor's garbage? The answer to that question is yes. There's enough plastic waste and other organic material in garbage from 3 houses to supply all the energy that one home would need. In other words, for every 4 houses the United States has, the garbage from those 4s would heat one and provide an abundance of electricity. You ask, how is this possible? There's an awful lot of heat in garbage. What it needs is to be broken down to a form that can either be burned for heat or used to fuel an electric generator. There are 2 types of pyrolysis that should be considered. These are low temperature pyrolysis and high temperature pyrolysis. As the name implies, this difference is the amount of heat necessary to break down the garbage. Although I don't have any research on it, I believe that a high temperature pyrolysis process can be built in such a manner as to operate on your homestead. Wood gas generation is really just a type of low temperature pyrolysis. The wood gas is burned to generate heat, and because the partial combustion of the wood forces off a gas that is very similar to methane gas. Now, methane gas is basically what natural gas from the pipeline is. There are a few other types of gas that would have a low molecular weight that react very much like this methane. One of these is ethane, and the difference is it contains 2 carbon molecules instead of 1. How would you go about building a high temperature pyrolysis generator? There are a lot of literature and stories out there about wood gas generation being used to power motor vehicles. I have a friend here in Benton City who built a very effective wood gas generator to drive an emergency generator. Now let's get back to high temperature pyrolysis. High temperature pyrolysis is the same process except that it is carried out at a much higher temperature. This allows us to decompose plastics and many other sorts of material like that into the basic hydrocarbons that make them up. An exception is that high temperature pyrolysis system is completely enclosed and insulated. It will break down such things as old plastics, old cloth, very much like a rocket stove. The insulation is very important around the combustion area in order to ensure that the materials in the system are heated high enough to cause them to decompose. The amount of air allowed into the burner of the system is carefully controlled. I believe that a little bit of research in high temperature pyrolysis plants could be built on a homestead to create a large percentage of the needed energy. This would not be limited to the use of garbage. Many other items such as wood and animal waste can be used into the system. I believe animal waste can be better used in a methane generator that is an anaerobic biological process. This generates methane, and the leftover waste is excellent fertilizer. Wood gas is really a low temperature pyrolysis process. We will go into high temperature pyrolysis in a much more detailed manner in a future paper.